Hello, fellow gardeners. Well, we're back here. We're going to ask a few more questions today. We had some that asked, what about the soil in your tubs? Do you use it year after year, or do you have to pour it out and start with new? It's so expensive they don't want to do it. Well, let me tell you, I build my own soil and I still don't pour it out. I've got tubs that's 9 years old, still using the same soil in those tubs. Now, yes, I've mentioned before, but I'll tell you today, I take as that compost down, and I've grown a crop of tomatoes in there, and now I'm going to grow a crop of lettuce or spinach or something. I'll go in there and put a little fertilizer on top of it, of the granular fertilizer, of the Sustain and Sea Mineral. I'll put a little on that, and then I'll cover it over with some fresh compost or soil, and then I will water it in, and I will plant my plants of lettuce or spinach or broccoli or cauliflower this fall, and water it in some more, and then fill the tub full of water and fertilizer, and it's good to go. Even though it's 7 or 8, 9 years old, I'm still doing it. Okay? So yes, you can use the same soil over year by year. Put a little fresh on top of it. Now, some people ask me, what is your opinion of grow bags? Well, let me tell you something. You may have heard me in the past say, 10 years from now, I think we'll be using grow bags instead of these tubs. Now, let me tell you what I'd like to see them do to these grow bags. If they would put a vinyl liner in the bottom 3 inches of the tub, that's what of the bag, that's what you would see me using, is those grow bags. Because, yes, they breathe better. They are cooler to grow in the summer because they act like a evaporative cooler, and the excess water comes up through there and cools the side of it. It root prunes your plants, makes them put out more roots. So it has lots of advantages. So yeah, maybe this next spring I'll try to get around and start growing in grow bags to show you the difference. The only problem is I'm going to have to line those grow bags with vinyl so they'll hold water, because I refuse to grow in a grow bag that drains all the water out of it that you got to water twice a day. So I'm not into that. But if I can get one of them, get them grow bags built some way where they'll hold 3 inches of water in the bottom of them for me, I will use them this next spring. So if you have to, some of you remind me next spring that I promised I'd use some grow bags. Now then, someone asked here about, could you grow pumpkins or watermelons or cantaloupes in those wicking tubs? You sure can. Now, let me tell you, when you plant those 3 or 4 or 5 seeds in that tub, and you get those pumpkins sprouted and you get them growed out there 15, 20 feet all the way around that barrel, I'm going to tell you, you can't just water once a week. You're going to have to water every day down that pipe. Now, not on top, but down that pipe, so that water will be there, and put fertilizer. Every time you water, you put that in there and let it wick that water and fertilizer up, and you're going to see those, whether it's pumpkins, watermelons, cantaloupes, squash, gourds, just on and on. Remember, the bigger the plant, the more the water it's going to suck. Just like a human. A baby drinks so much water, but a big human is going to drink a lot more water. It's just the way it is. You got to use your brain and think a little about whether the plant is little, suck a little water, or if the plant is big and going to suck a lot of water. But yes, you can do it. You can make those tubs grow pumpkin, squash, or whatever you want to do in there. I had one customer complain that he's got some trees in tubs. He did not say whether they were wicking or not, and I suspect they're not, because yes, when you put trees in tubs with the holes in the bottom, and the water will, gravity pulls it out the bottom, and a big tree in there going to suck the water out. He's not watering often enough. It's hard to water often enough to keep that tree watered to where it won't get dry in between and leaves turn yellow. But that's the problem. But if you'll put it in a wicking tub, and big tree, you got to water more often, just like those figs. We have to water them figs about twice, 3 times a week weak because they're so big. They're drawing so much water out. We have to. All right. And he's having the same problem with apple trees, hibiscus, willow trees, hostas. So yeah, he's needing a wicking tub or something. All right. They also ask, are we going to have aphids and spider mites when you use wicking tubs? I would say definitely. The longer we go into this world's history, the more bugs and disease we're going to have, the worse the weather's going to be. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. We're getting close to Christ coming back a second time, if you believe it or not. He's close to coming back. And he's telling us about these terrible things we're going to have. Plagues are going to come up on this earth. Insect, pestilence. You know, Las Vegas now has so many grasshoppers that they're just everywhere. So we're going to have these things come on. You might as well get ready. Learn how to use your Dawn dishwashing soap to, and put some orange oil in it, which is nothing but orange peelings that's been squeezed, and put that juice in there. That orange juice or that citrus oil will repel some of those bugs. Dawn dishwashing soap will kill some of them. Rubbing alcohol will. It'll repel some of them. It'll kill some of them. So use some of those natural things and get rid of some of those bugs before you have to use heavy, heavy pesticides. I did that back yonder, I'm sorry to say, 40 or 50 years ago when I first started growing flower plants, and I had to use a lot of that heavy chemical, not knowing I could get by without it. I learned later that I could, but I didn't even use a mask when I was spraying that stuff, and that's part of the reason I'm not going to live to be 150 years old, is because of the way I did back there when I was 20 to 30 and 40 years old, working day and night, spraying these plants at night, loading out in the daytime. Next night I'd go back and spray some more without a mask on. It was stupid of me. We didn't really know anything about how poison that stuff was. Now then I've realized I don't use any of those poisons. I use everything that's a little softer, like Dawn dishwashing soap, palm olive soap, stuff like that. Okay, if you like the...
Excuse me, I have a question for you.
No, okay.
One question was in reference to the wicking tub, said that her water smelled swampy, or it had a smell to it.
I don't know what's caused that. I mean, I've been doing this now for 10 years, and mine don't smell. I just can't figure out what it is. I know I've had several people call in and said theirs. I will say, if you put a little Dawn dishwashing soap in it, where it causes a film to come over the top of it, it won't sour and ferment like that. So maybe it's because we spray enough with Dawn dishwashing soap, gets on the plant, runs off down on the ground. Maybe we get enough water on it from our drip tape that it washes the Dawn dishwashing soap down in there, keeps it from fermenting. I don't know. I don't have the answer. But I know we don't have it. After these 10 years we've used these wicking tubs, we don't have a strong odor in ours. But
Plug drain hole?
Plug drain hole could be. I don't know. We just have to go back and check. Now I'm going to tell you another thing is when you're building those tubs and you're putting that cloth in there, if you put that cloth down over the end of those pipes and cover that drain hole up, you've got major problems. You're going to stand full of water and it's going to sour. But that's the reason I tell you, when you put that cloth over those two pipes, and we've kind of quit using that pipe now for most people, but when you got those two pipe laying in there, you got that cloth on it, you turn it up that barrel instead of turning it down over the end of the pipes, because your drain hole is right out there. You turn this cloth up, that's hollow in there, and it won't stop up. But if you turn that cloth down over it and plug at it with that cloth, naturally it's going to stop up. So we'll be talking about that some next spring. I know whenever we get over to North Carolina, Duncan Quick over there, my helper on the eastern seaboard, well, we're going to get him over there and get some videos of him and let him show us some things he does that a little extra more than I do. I don't do everything just exactly right, probably. There's other people that found some things they can do besides mine. And that's the reason I'm going to do some traveling this next year or so and try to pick up on some of these other guys, what they're doing, and share with you on these videos and try to make a better gardener out of you. If you punch that button, subscribe, ring that bell, we're going to make you another video.